Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. We finally, after a very long time, have some Ed gameplay to look at in Street Fighter 6. It's been a long time since Aki came out. It's been a hot minute, but we're finally getting an idea of what Ed looks like. Also, we have a release date for Ed as well. Ed is coming out February the 27th. So that's the Tuesday after the Capcom Cup finals are concluded. And if we're seeing Ed now, I guess that means whatever trailers they'll be showing at the end of the Capcom Cup would be something else entirely. I wonder what that could be. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Now, Ed is a proper boxer's boxer now. No more kicking, no more of that nonsense, not disgracing the art. Like, yeah, he'll still throw purple fireballs at you, but he's not a cheater. Pretty sure Marciano and Dempsey were throwing those purple fireballs back in the day, so makes sense to me, upholding a proud tradition there. Now, thanks to PlayStation Blog, we know a few things about Ed, although not everything. So that said, let's rewind the trailer here and start at the start. So our first little bit here is your master cutscene when you meet him in the World Tour mode. And yes, just like all the other DLC characters, you can meet Ed in World Tour mode, learn his moves, and get some little lore tidbits. And mentioned in the previous video here, Ed still looking pretty rough. Now, the reason for it, we can only speculate, but he's kind of sweating just looking at his phone. He's got big bags under his eyes. He's definitely not living his best life right now. As it would seem, Ed is under constant harassments by the remnants of Shadaloo. We've seen this earlier in the other trailer. Dudes like that are normally Mad Gear members, except they have Shadaloo boxes on their head, because it's just cheaper to do it that way, I'm guessing, right? But yeah, so he's having a rough go of it. And yes, Ed launches with a new stage. This is a destroyed Shadaloo base, and yes, that is multiple Seth clones. Definitely evocative of the Sin Lab that Seth had in Street Fighter 4, especially with the big hand that he was sitting on, right? But this is a Shadaloo lab, there is a difference, and I'm assuming Ed and Neo Shadaloo are kind of hanging around here. So let's get some gameplay mysteries just kind of solved out of the gate here. Ed is a motion character this time around. If you want to pick modern, it's all simple inputs like it was in Street Fighter 5, as he's sort of the progenitor of simple inputs. But otherwise, there's going to be quarter circle forward, dragon punch motion, all that kind of stuff. He has quote-unquote regular controls now. Also, Ed no longer has any kicks. So all of his kick buttons are dedicated to flicker jabs, as you're seeing here. So very reminiscent of, say, Yamazaki from King of Fighters. So basically, punch buttons are for normal punches, and kick buttons for extra fancy quick punches. Let's put it that way. Also, like Yamazaki from King of Fighters, flickers can have different heights. We've seen low, this is more of a mid, and there's also kind of more aerial ones as well. And it looks like you can chain them into each other for target combos. Another seeming target combo right here. We also have another showcase here, this I'm assuming jump heavy punch into his sweep. And here it looks to be an anti-air flicker jab. So once again, all the angles are covered. And a Superman punch, because hey, why not? But yeah, as you can tell now, Ed absolutely evokes a proper boxer more than he ever did, versus like his giant rising roundhouse kicks and all that kind of stuff. They're going all out. And here we can see the basis of a basic hit confirm combo. So given that we have a little bit of the move list now, I'm guessing that this is the Psycho Blitz. If only because, you know, it looks like he is blitzing the enemy with those jabs. Now, just like Street Fighter 5, Ed's Fireball game is a bit of a two-parter. So we have the first part. This is the Psycho Spark, and he doesn't have to commit to anything. He can just kind of easily destroy projectiles, very handy. And if you choose to, you don't have to, but if you choose to, you can do the follow-up here of Psycho Shoot and shoot your own traditional Fireball. And just for the few people I saw mentioned back in the first Ed appearance, yes, it's blue, not purple. M. Bison had blue fire with Psycho Power going all the way back to Street Fighter 2, so it's still Psycho Power, don't worry. Ed's unique style of projectile has been traditionally very useful for him, and I'm sure it'll remain much the same in this game, and will remain a very solid move. Now here is what I believe to be Psycho Upper, and if it is, I think Psycho Upper has a different animation for each button you press. At bare minimum, it's certainly a Psycho Powered punch, and it is an uppercut, all three of them, so that's why I'm sort of taking that guess. The first one specifically, as well beating Aki in her lunge, would have anti-air properties, generally uppercuts do, so that makes sense to me. Also, tell me if I'm crazy or not here. I know it's Tekken season, I've been playing way too much Tekken, But is Ed not doing like an electric right here? Like psycho-powered Wind God Fist? His legs sort of have the stance and the pose. His arms sort of like swinging up at the exact right angle. Maybe I'm just seeing something that's not there. Maybe it's just a fun little tribute. I don't know. I'll let y'all be the decider on that. Next, another flicker jab into what appears to be the blitz move again. The animation starts the same, although the ender is different, so perhaps it's a different button strength, and different button strengths give you different properties, different animations, so on and so forth. And then we get this piece of business. So this is the Psycho Flicker. As per the move list, this is its own unique thing. This is not just a kick button press. This is an actual special move. So obviously Psycho powered and fused, you got all the fancy particle effects, and it would seem to be a good deal more range. And I keep bringing up the King of Fighters Yamazaki reference because this works seemingly much the same way. Just like Yamazaki, it appears you can hold the button and sort of hold in a faint stance. Like I can hear the Ikuza, Ikuza. But I guess that's just a sign of me being old because everything seems like a reference to everything else at this point. Looks cool is what I'll say, and I just can't shake the King of Fighters vibes. Also, you will certainly notice Ed's Psycho Snatcher in play here, like the big Psycho tendrils pulling the enemy in. Apparently, according to PlayStation blog, if you hold the button down as it connects, it will turn into the Psycho Snatcher, which will be very handy for combos to be sure. Now, next up, Ed has a command dash. This is called the Kill Rush, and from it he has two options. The Kill Switch Break and the Kill Switch Chaser. Basically, one is the first one you're seeing here that's kind of like a smaller uppercut, and the other one's a much larger uppercut that has juggle potential and combo ability after the fact. Also, being a boxer, there's mobility, so he can also back sway out of the Kill Rush. So he doesn't necessarily have to commit to an option if he does not want to. Here we see another target combo, and it's going to be going into his level 1 super, the Psycho Storm, and he just kind of unloads on you. Also, in a move that weirds me out just a little bit, he like steps in and out of the 2D plane without the camera switching, which is not how you do it. We've been doing this a certain way for a very long time, and if you don't change the camera angle but you're moving in and out of the 2D plane, it just weirds me out. So that's different, I guess. Also, on a win, the stage definitely changes up quite a bit here, as everything's just sort of overflowing with Psycho power, so that looks really, really cool. Also, don't get too excited, Ed. Your chest is glowing, that's probably not good for you. And yes, the Eminem fit will return for Ed in Street Fighter 6. Now, good news here for the Psycho Flicker. When you're holding it, you do not have to commit to staying in place. Very apparently, you can backdash out of it, so gotta be really good for feints and the like. And here we can see Ed's forward throw, just a big old sock to the face. Now this is fun. Ed's charged heavy punch from Street Fighter V returns. Might not be the same motion anymore, but either way, definitely going full screen on you into a crumple, which will lead to a guaranteed combo. And it destroys projectiles along the way. Very handy. From here, looks like we're getting some quick links in the target combo action. And then we see EX Flicker goes into Psycho Snatcher right away, so that's definitely going to be the go-to combo move, into a Psycho Upper. Here, backdashes Ken's throw, goes into his own back throw, quick punch to the side, another deck to the face, simple boxing 101. Then this piece of business. So EX Shoryu versus EX Psycho Upper, and EX Psycho Upper wins, which is good and bad. So the yellow flash starts on the exact same frame, I didn't slow-mo, so same startup roughly. So Ken's invulnerability runs out first, but his move also goes active first. He's in the air before the punch even connects. So this means Psycho Upper is extraordinarily invincible, which is good, but it also means it has slower startup, which is bad. That means you're telling me there's probably going to be like all sorts of like safe jump setups against Ed. Having an invincible move is certainly better than not. Ask any members of the low tier portion of the cast, you know, like Lily and Manon, if they could have a full invincible move, that'd be pretty nice. But yeah, basically, since it's just a little bit slower as a reversal, expect situations where you might invincible through something and still get blocked in the end. And here's a fun little combo structure example here. So we start off with a nice little whiff punish. Ken goes for the medium kick, gets bopped. And then we go in EX Flicker, once again, brings us a Psycho Snatcher immediately, very high angle. And then goes for the fireball, 2 hits, and while juggled, drive rushes. I'm assuming stand heavy punch into the command dash upper, into the Superman punch. So flashy stuff. Our next bit here also showcasing some more fun things with Ed, this time with the EX projectile. So the first hit destroys projectiles, as you expect, and the follow-up also destroys projectiles, which means Ken kind of gets snuck up on, gets hit by the command dash, and gets launched for some nice pressure. Ken gets shimmied like a sucker. Quick link, EX flicker gives us the Psycho Snatcher again, another Psycho Upper to keep the juggles going, and apparently more Psycho Uppers. After this, we see a jump-in with sort of a whack-looking cross-up hitbox. We get a hit confirm after the jump-in, and then going into what I'm assuming is the EX version of the Psycho Blitz. Now this bit, if we had Yamazaki before, this bit is very reminiscent of our friend Steve Fox from Tekken, going for those machine gun blows. And after this, going into more classic boxing. Pretty sure I've seen Roy Jones Jr. bust this out every now and then. This is the Psycho Cannon. The classic from Street Fighter V returns, and yeah, combo ability, obviously enough, right? Gets a Psycho Snatcher in there, more follow-ups and more hits, all that kind of stuff. And hopefully, as well as good for combos, it will remain good for pressure, although that remains to be seen just yet. At which point here, kind of ending off the trailer, we're putting a lot of these things together. So counter hit flicker, Psycho Flicker, puts you into a state where you can combo from, and then we get to see his level 3. And not since the halcyon days of Abigail in Street Fighter V has someone been disrespected so much by a big super. He's literally holding you together with Psycho Power and using you as a training bag dummy. Probably should have started the fight with that one if you can just pull that out whenever you want. But yeah, looks really cool. And that's the Ed trailer. You know what? Very effective. I'm already seeing stuff on Twitter how people said how I always mained Ed. I've been maining Ed since Street Fighter 2. They seem to have done the impossible and turned Ed kinda cool, and that's a very big victory. Now that he's much more of a proper boxer, myself, I am very impressed with him as well. Just the general moveset, the animations are fantastic as well, like Street Fighter is the best in the biz as far as that's concerned. Now, once again, Ed comes out February the 27th. That will be the Tuesday after the Capcom Cup concludes, and on this channel, naturally, I'll make sure to have a lot of good Ed content for you. And considering, Capcom Cup's finishing up, I got a sneaking suspicion we'll have other things to talk about besides just Ed. Who knows what all that can be? I think it'll be probably a pretty interesting thing or two though. And all that said, that is the video. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Ed? Were you maining Ed since Street Fighter 3? Have you been playing Ed since Tatsunoko vs. Capcom? Seemingly, as of today, many people have been. And you know what? He looks pretty damn cool, so I'm not going to blow you up for it. If a character looks cool, you should want to play him. That's kind of what this whole crazy fighting game thing is about. That said though, yeah, let me know what you think about Ed in the comments below, and your hopes and dreams for Capcom Cup, whatever they may be. It's not too far away from now. And otherwise, well, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Street Fighter.